Hey guys, Deathbyphiw here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a tier list in Season 9, Tank Edition. Stick around. Oh, right off the bat, I want to start with F tier tanks. I really do feel sorry for the meta right now, but Ryan has gone even down further below this tier list. I mean, he was pretty low in the tier list in my previous video. Now I've had to add F tier. I think Ryan is just simply unplayable in the current meta. I mean, it's just nothing works with him. It's just a Zen galore Discord, chunking him down, destroying any sort of possibility of him doing anything with the team. Reinhardt is just in an unfortunate situation, and he's at the bottom of the tank pool. Next up on that list, I would put Roadhog. He's not as bad as Reinhardt. I thought about putting him in D tier. Actually, you know what? I'll move him up to D tier. I'll move Roadhog up to D tier simply because of the S tier tank, which I'll get to in a second. Roadhog counters Ball, who's S tier, who's the highest tank right now. It's pretty crazy that he is, but other than that, Hog is just a huge body. With the projectile size changes, he's just been so indirectly nerfed, being that he's like one of the biggest targets to hit, and it just makes his life living hell. We'll also add another tank that suffers the same fate as Hog because of his sheer size and the projectile size changes, is Maga. Another one who's falls victim to Zen's Discord orb like Hog and Ryan. It just chunks them down and makes them so hard to play in this meta. I think Maga is a little bit worse than Hog because Hog can counter Ball and Maga can't. So unless he gets him in his ult. Other than that, I don't know what more Maga offers to your team, and it's really unfortunate situation for him. Moving on up to S tier, it's crazy. Ball has been bad for quite some time. He's done a complete 180 on his position. He was at the bottom of the bottom last season, and now he's at the top of the top. I think he's, quite frankly, the only S tier tank. I would put him at S plus because this season's all about staying alive and diving the backline, trying to dive the Zen or the Lucio, some sort of squishy, and kill them. And Ball does a great job of doing that, especially if you follow it up with other dive DPS like a Genji or Tracer, a Sombra. Being that Ball's meta, you're going to see a lot of Sombras out there as well, so pairing that up with your Ball is really advantageous to you on tank. Even with hit scan players there to support, like I know Sojourn and Soldier 76 are still really good, it still benefits Ball's situation. He goes, rolls in, hits somebody, slams on somebody in the backline like Zen and knocks him up. A good hit scan like a Widow or Soldier 76 or Sojourn can just delete that hero. So Ball is just crazy. He rolls around, he survives so much. The passive that he gets his health back now, all heroes get that, is really good for him. He can roll around, get health packs, and just heal up as he's out of combat after 5 seconds. So really strong, really benefited him in this meta. A tier tanks. I still think Sig is really good, and I think Sig is A tier. He's really boring to play, and he has a good utility to deal with the Lucio Zen meta on the enemy side, and he does quite a bit of damage. And you could just like AFK, turn off your brain, just start shooting the team with your left click and just do a ton of damage. I mean, with Tracer, who's a low HP target, being meta, you could hit your shots on her and delete her pretty quickly. So he's just really strong. His ultimate's still really good, and he's just an overall solid pick. Another A tier tank I'm gonna go with is Doomfist. I hate to say it, like I said before, dive is meta, and simply because of that, Doomfist is good. I mean, he's a really good dive tank. The one caveat to playing Doom is unless you're a high ranked player, like you're Masters Plus or GM Plus now because of the new champion tier, most Doom players aren't going to be very good in lower tiers, and it makes it pretty of a difficult situation to play him. But if you're really good with him and you're in a higher tier and higher elo, Doom is just really good. Another one about survivability and about dive, Diva, another A tier tank. Diva's really strong. She offers a lot of utility to the team. She could eat shots with their right click. The projectile size changes helped her out with her abilities as well, so she could do a boatload of damage. And then, you know, she has that second life with her ult. She could just pop it off, maybe get a kill, or just use it as a second life and get back in her mac. So really strong, and she can get away. And the passive, the healing returning to her, just helps her out as well. Not as strong, but still really good because of dive, is Winston. Winston jumps into the team, does damage, puts his bubble down, jumps out. I mean, all about survivability. The passive of him getting heals over time after 5 seconds of being out of combat is another thing that benefits a dive tank. He could jump in, jump out, and his ult also gives him a second life. So Winston, all in all, is pretty solid. Not as good as the other three here, but still really strong. I'm going to put Ramattra in A tier. I know Rush isn't meta right now, but I think Ramattra still is really strong. His ultimate is one of the best ultimates in the game. He's probably has the best tank ultimate in the game as well, and he just offers a lot of damage to the team. And I personally, if you watch my video that I'll tag in this at the end of the support tier list, I think Ana's still a hard A lock in the tier. So Ana being high up on my list, and me being but usually playing Ana and Ana main, her nano boost just really benefits Ramattra, and having a Lucio on the team to speed boost that Ramattra into the enemy team, and pairing up maybe with an Ana, or you have a Zen and a Lucio. I mean, it just all in all, just speed boost in the Discord orb to back him up while he's ulting is really good. So I'll put him in A tier. Put him at the bottom of A tier because Rush really isn't meta. B tier is Junker Queen. You know, she's just average. Her ultimate's pretty good. But, you know, she does quite a bit of damage. But other than that, she's not dive. And, you know, she's not hard rush either. In my opinion, Rush really not being meta just puts her down. She's not a bad pick, but she's not a great pick. It's more or less, can you diff the enemy tank or not? If you can hard diff the enemy tank, yeah, play Junker Queen. But there'll be better picks out there for you. C tier tanks, Zarya, who I love dearly, has fallen down. She's part of the Rush meta that isn't meta anymore. And she's just not as good. Yeah, you could pick her to counter pick maybe a Diva, but the other tanks just run circles around her, like Ball, Winston, Doom, Ramattra, Sig. I think they're just all so much better than her. She's more of a situational pick right now. She still has a really good game-changing ultimate with Grav, but she's just not that strong. She just feels weak in the games that I've played. She's not god-awful. She's playable, but she's not a great, solid pick. Following her up, too, is Orisa. Orisa is another victim of the Rush meta really going away. Dive is meta. Survivability is meta. And she just falls victim to that. Still has overall a pretty solid kit. and a really like AFK turn your brain off hero to play, but you really do need to diff the enemy tank to stay on her. More situational, maybe if there's a really good Doom on the enemy team, you can counter the Doom with Orisa, or if they're playing Hog or another tank that's on the D or F tier, yeah, Orisa would work really well. But she's not really strong right now. She feels really weak, and it just doesn't help her out, the current meta. So this is my tank tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you surprised that Ball did a complete 180, is now S tier, no longer a D or F tier character? What do you think? Let me know. Happy to hear and listen. And I hope you really did enjoy this video. Oh, as always, be gaming.